for those of us that are not only understand truth but live the truth, and I mean that by uh, when you look at the mannerisms of a person's lifestyle, what does it represent? Does it even represent truth? We live in a day and age where the food is a lie, the water is a lie, the educational system is a lie, um, the environment that we live in is a lie, politics is a lie, and people are so immersed in it. Um, that it's very difficult to get them to see the truth. And this is why I really don't pay too much attention to people that are immersed in life. Uh, and when you look at their life, it's nothing but lies. From the food that they eat, to the water that they drink, uh, to the educational system that they partake in, to the jobs that they have. It's becoming more and more difficult, damn near impossible at this point in time, to wake people up to the knowledge of the truth when it comes to anything. Because when a person has been brainwashed for all their life, it's very difficult to get them to see anything different. It goes back to the old story in Morpheus and the Matrix, that once a person has reached a certain age, they don't attempt to wake them up, because it's very difficult to get them to receive the truth, much less live it. It's a very shocking and offensive thing to realize that something that you've been partaking in is false, is not going to bear any fruit or harm you. Now, I say all of this to say that you see what's going on in these cities. I recently got a report that out of Philadelphia, some man in body armor, I don't know if he's a black or white guy, it just happened today, I believe, shot and killed 7 people. The story is still developing. But you see what's going on in these major population centers. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. Female crime is going up at an astronomical rate. You hear more and more of women getting involved in drug trafficking, Instagram models. A lot of people that are out on this social media thing, they're presenting themselves in such a way, but it's really not the case. It's sad. Everything is false. It seems as though the new success is how much likes and shares and clicks and hearts you get on an Instagram post or a Facebook post. But people live a vapid life. They just live an empty, meaningless life. And it's sad to see. And it's just such a blessing to be out in the country. Because you don't see a lot of the activity that you see in the city. You don't see that activity in the country. People in the country are a lot more sound-minded, a lot more informed, a lot more laid back, a lot more healthy than those that live in the city. It's sad. Whether you see what's going on in the cities, in family, I can just go on and on. But for those of you who are serious about making moves and that are getting things done, stay the course, because see, there's nothing out there. There really is nothing out there. And try and get around people and network and coordinate with like-minded people. I spend more and more time on the phone talking and coordinating with people of like mind and precious faith. And it's a beautiful thing to see people that are progressing in their dreams, goals, and aspirations that's bearing fruit. Because a lot of people We live in a day and age again where all these gurus and all these people, all these motivational speakers and people, they flood these conferences in these stadiums, and they hear motivational speech. But a lot of people ain't gonna do nothing. They're not gonna live nothing. They're not gonna produce anything. It's just really sad to see over and over again. But real skills, real assets, real friends. That's going to be the combination that really sets you apart, that really puts you in a situation as to where you're living a healthier life for yourself and your family. And you don't have to worry about these crazy things. And I'll say something off in closing. I saw a Facebook post of a sister said that, a man was raising his child, and he was in the city. He was a good man, and he lost his child to gun violence. I think it was Indianapolis or something. Walking down the city, and got shot dead. And this man was doing everything that he needed to do to, as she states it, live a good life for himself and his child, and walking down the street and get shot. Now, anything can happen anywhere. You just don't know. But what she went on to say when I said, come out of these population centers, this is where this is what it's all happening at. And her rationale, which I see time and time again, is, hey, it could have happened in the country as well. Like, it would have made no difference whatsoever. That's how she made it seem. It would have made no difference if they had moved into the country, because it could have happened in the country as well. And this is the demented thought process. This is an educated woman. But this is why I say high fructose corn syrup, aspartame, fluoride, fluorinated water. This is how people will rationalize this kind of thought. And this is a Hebrew woman living in the city, big old house in the city, got a career, no man, single mother. I mean, just the same story that we see time and time again. Failure wrapped up in the veneer of success. But this is what's going on. It's much, much less likely for things to happen out here. You can look up crime stats in any city or county, pretty much in the United States. And I look up the crime stats out here where I live in the country. It's like night and day when it comes to, it's a lot of petty crime that happens out in the city, in the country. Sure, you'll have your murder here and there, and it's always, somebody's related to something, but it's rarely do you see random acts of violence take place. Sure, can it happen anywhere? I'm all about minimizing the probability of things happening. It's like people will say, hey, well, what's the point of moving your child out to the country and raising them right when they can turn up wrong anyway? This is the rationale of people. So what's the point of doing it? And the concept is, what's the point of doing it anyway? This is how jacked up people's minds are. They'd rather keep plugged into the matrix as opposed to making the hard choices and decisions to get themselves and their families out and coordinate and live a set apart life and grow their own food, because it takes hard work. It's easy to get up and log in and go to a job. It's easy to pay rent. You understand what I'm saying? I think these are the hardest things that you can do, but everybody's doing it. It appears easy, but it's not. It's nothing but slavery. But let me get in here. My second trip to Lowe's, plumbing out this tiny home, because set apart living in is good, but you gotta get some calluses on your hands and put it to work. All right, shalom. Have a blessed day.